What's good, everybody? Hey, hope all is well. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about tips for college football walk-ons. Now, look, I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited about this video because one, I have this opportunity to hopefully make someone else's life better and add value to them. And then two, this is also a passion of mine. I was a walk-on myself. I walked on at Florida State, ended up playing in the NFL. If you're more interested in getting to know me and my story, hey, check out the video that's listed in the description. That'll tell you my whole story of how I got to where I'm at today. But without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. So we got a little Q&A going on here from a fellow walk-on. And here's what he asked. So he hit me up on TikTok and he was like, yo, you got some advice for me? I've been going through a hard time mentally. I'm a walk-on at, and I'm gonna leave the school name out of it, but he's a walk-on at a Division I school, and he's a sophomore. I just feel like the coaches aren't even giving me a chance to go out there and ball out, even though I'm faster, stronger than most of the DBs on scholarship. Well, first of all, man, I appreciate you for even considering me to reach out, and get my advice or my perspective on things. So, first of all, I definitely want to say thank you for that. And as far as your question, man, it's a lot to unpack here. It's a lot to unpack. So, one thing you said was you feel like the coaches aren't giving you a chance to go out there and ball. And not only is this my advice to you and my tips to you, this is really my advice for every walk-on, especially in the football world, but really to everybody that, this can go for walk-ons and scholarship players. So it's all about perspective, right? Like, here's how I see it, and this is how I thought when I was a walk-on at Florida State. As long as you're able to put that jersey on, as long as you're able to participate in the workouts with the team, technically, you're given an opportunity. Now, the thing is, as walk-ons, they're not just going to give us the same amount of reps that they're going to give a scholarship player. They're not going to give us the same treatment that scholarship players are getting. So really it's about mindset, right? Like, we're walk-ons, we're under the shadows of all these other players. So there might be days where you only get 2 reps in practice, right? But it's like, what you gonna do with those 2 reps? Are you gonna, and this ain't me, saying that you're doing this. This is just how I thought as a player. So, all right, I'm only getting 2 reps today in practice, but shoot, let me make sure I'm taking advantage of these 2 reps. Let me make sure, like, if I can go out there and make a play. Like, that's, as walk-ons, we gotta earn literally everything. They're not gonna give us anything, man. Like, we gotta take it. That's the mindset. Everything that we get, it gotta be taken, because at the end of the day, we at the bottom of the list. The coaches ain't worried about us. They ain't thinking about us, man. They got all these other guys that they paying attention to. So what can you do to take the attention away from those scholarship players and put it on you? That's like one of the things that I was focused on as a walk-on. Like, yeah, faster and stronger is good. I don't want to take that away from you, but that can't be the only thing, bro. Like, as a walk-on, everything's a competition, from the weight room to the meeting room to the practice field. Like, it don't matter. Like, we got to stand out in every way possible, and we got to do more than every other player. Like, it don't matter if you a preferred walk-on, a regular walk-on. It don't matter. At the end of the day, we not on scholarship, and we got to go above and beyond what those scholarship players got to do. And I get it, man. Sometimes you might be taking advantage of those opportunities. You might be doing better than most of those scholarship players. I'm not trying to sit here and say that you're not, because I know that when I was walking on, there was times where I was making the most plays on the defense in practice. There was times where I was running faster times than these other dudes. But there are going to be times where, even if you're doing all of that, the coaches, they might not validate that. They might not come up to you and praise what you're doing and be like, like some of the scholarship players, they gon' ride their wave, you know what I'm saying? But as walk-ons, a lot of that stuff goes unspoken, but it ain't going unnoticed. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, if you a walk-on and you making some noise in every way possible, like, the coaches might not come up to you and tell you how good you're doing and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, they probably upstairs talking about you if you really doing your thing out there. Like, I'll tell you this, man, like, when I was at Florida State, like, coaches, like, especially whether it was the head coach, assistant coach, like, some coaches, they'll walk slap by me. Like we walking in the hallway and I'm creating eye contact and he just keep head straight, keeping it moving, ain't saying a word to me. And it's like, dang, like me and him the only ones in this hallway that's walking by each other. Like I know he just seen me and I try to make some form of communication without speaking first and they'll walk slap by you, but at the end of the day, bro, none of that stuff matters, man. Don't let the circumstances get in your head. The only thing you can do is control what you can control, which is, and this is, I ain't finna sit here and act like I made this up, but the only thing that you can control is showing up every day, controlling your attitude and controlling your effort. How you approach the day and how you plan on winning the day. Like those are the only things you can control. You can't control if the coaches are, not showing you love or if the coaches are, kind of doubting you or whatever. Like that's out of your control, because at the end of the day, man, coaches, they recognize everything. They evaluate everything. They looking at how you react in certain situations. Like coaches, they'll move you up and down on the depth chart. Like one day you might be running with the ones, the next day you might be running with the threes, the fours, or you might not get as many reps in practice. And they looking at all of that. Like they might not necessarily be intentionally manipulating you or intentionally putting you in those situations, but they are looking at how you respond in all these scenarios. They looking at how you react in meetings when you facing adversity or when this coach is cussing you out or when this coach is dogging you out. Like everything is being evaluated. You always got eyes on you. So just play the mind game with them, man. That's all I gotta say. Like just peep what they doing, but at the same time be like, all right, let that add fuel to the fire. Because like I said, if you dominating, the coaches ain't got to say nothing to me in person, but as long as they talking about me upstairs in a good way, that's the only thing that matter, man. We got one thing in mind, and that's to get that scholarship, man. Like all the praise and all that. Like we don't need coaches riding our wave like that, man. Like yeah, we would appreciate it just to give us some assurance that we doing something right, but at the end of the day, we are walk-ons and we're not going to get priority on a lot of things, whether you're preferred walk-on or not. That's just kind of how the game goes. So, but don't ever let that be an excuse. Don't ever let that be a reason. Just let that be more fuel to go out there and prove yourself, man. Every day is a proving ground. Every day is an interview. That's the mindset. Every day is an interview, and that's just how it is as a walk-on, as an underdog. Period. Even on any level. So. The last thing I want to say is, man, we used to have this guy come and speak to us at Florida State. His name was Dr. Elko. I think that was his name, Dr. Elko. And when he used to speak to us, one of the things he used to say was, he had this little saying where he would say, so what, now what? So whatever situation it is, the coach is not giving you the chances you expect, so what, now what? Okay, so what? They're not doing that. What are you gonna do about it? I used to ask myself that all the time. Like, all right, you had a bad practice today. So what? Now what? Like, learn from it, apply your lessons to the next, and what are you gonna do about it? Like, it's all about mindset. It's all about perspective. Don't have that victim mindset of like, oh, don't nobody want me, don't nobody like me. Nah, because at the end of the day, they're not. Even if you go pros, even if you go to the NFL or the NBA and you're an undrafted guy or a guy that's barely on the roster, they're not going to give you these opportunities. You got to go out there and take them. That's just the mindset, man. So, anyways, I hope this helped, and I would love to do more of these. Definitely, once again, I appreciate you for even considering me to answer this question for you. And to all the walk-ons out there, man, I hope this helped y'all. Like, it definitely helped me on my journey, and it definitely took me a long way as far as like getting my scholarship at Florida State and making it in the NFL. So, and these are just a few things that was pertaining to this question, but I would definitely love to do more of these videos. Let me know in the comments if y'all like these videos, and make sure you guys subscribe. And if you're someone who's watching this and you feel like this can add value to somebody else, feel free to share it. I greatly appreciate it. But other than that, man, I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video.